Bake for Life. In today's P4L review, we'll be taking an early look at a pre-production sample of Fans Toys FT20 and B. That's their Terminus Giganticus, or their version of a masterpiece scaled Omega Supreme. So, as with all pre-production or early looks, these things are, not final retail copies, although this one feels very close. So if there are some minor differences with this and the final version, don't hold me to that, okay? Also, I wanted to be very clear that this is a two-parter. So part A is basically these two wings, the tank, the main tank, the backpack, and these extra accessories, and which is shipping now from Fans Toys as far as I understand. And then the part B, which will be coming I think next month or within the next month or so, are the two legs and the rocket ship part, which make the forearms. All right, and this guy is huge. Obviously, I don't know how well it's going to fit into my review area, but we're going to try to go with it. So let's actually take this chance to scoot in just a bit. You are going to lose a little bit of items in the frame, but we're going to focus on certain things anyway. So let's move this off to the side. Let's really quickly talk about the accessories. I actually think this one came broken to me. This little hinge here, it looks like this pen goes in here and it might have broken or something like that. But essentially this is what is an alternate cod piece that allows you to have a red crotch and just tabs in. I'll show it to you in robot mode. This is also an alternate piece, which is for the chest, a solid chest as opposed to translucent. And we'll show these off a little bit later, but they're really for robot mode, so let's just leave them off for now. But again, I think that one piece might be broken because it is a sample. So let's look at the tank because it's already in alt mode. This is how it comes out of packaging, or should, something like close to this. This guy is really big, really heavy. He has a lot of articulating pieces. He does have the cannon that extends. It can go up and down on a ratchet piece. It can rotate around on a ratchet piece. This helmet here actually opens up so that you can have access to the battery compartment, which you can just flip up on this tab here. And all of these LEDs, I think there's 4 in total. One in each arm, one in the head, and one in the chest. I believe they're all 377 batteries, and you're going to need 2 for each. So if there's 4, 8, math. And then there's a switch here. And then the head can rotate around, but we'll show that off for robot mode. But yeah, talking about the articulation, he has little cannon things here. You can actually hide these if you don't want. These slide out and then flip back in for robot mode. But you can have them displayed or not. He also features a lot of tampoed decos, so like danger here. These are not stickers, they're actually painted on, which is nice. Little details here. Let's look around the back really quickly. And again, sorry for the lighting. I'm sitting so far back, it's hard to actually be in the lighting area here. On the bottom, he features rubber treads, which do work, although because they have these rollers on the chest piece, it's actually hard to get them to engage. So if you want them to actually roll on those, you can transform into robot mode chest, and then you'll get these to engage. But they're kind of stiff. I mean, treads are really hard to get to actually engage, so they're more for look and feel than actual operation. So let's transform this back. You'll see this in a bit when we transform. But that's some other LEDs and features in there. But yeah, that's really it for his tank mode. We're going to go into his base mode first just because it makes more sense. Most of the pieces are already in base mode. The other part of A is part of the gantry, which will make up part of the backpack and his shoulders and biceps. Not really much to show off right now here, except for some inner detailing. And you can see these tab systems are how these big chunky tabs plug in, and they can only plug in folded up like this, which is kind of a bummer. I actually wish you could have them splayed out in kind of a U shape, but you can't do that. You do have some inner details, some nice paint applications again, some gunmetal or dark gray here, and then you'll see a lot of the die-cast in here that make up the shoulders, which ratchet, which are really nice. And then you have some extra features which will show off these cannons that pop out for gantry mode. We're going to show that off in just a bit, but right now I can't really do much with him because this is all you can do without parts of B. So let's just keep going with B. Here is the rocket, and you can see it's very, very large. Each of these, which are end up becoming the claws, have 1, 2, 3 points of articulation, each ratcheted. Very nice. He does have a thruster at the bottom, and you twist counterclockwise and pull it out to get to the LED switch and the module. Well, you can actually get to the switch elsewhere, but again, 377 batteries, you can turn that on and you can see how it lights up. It only really looks good when it's directly facing out. Some of the other LEDs are actually not as bright or need to be very specifically viewed to actually see anything. But to go ahead and push that back and turn it. On the other side here, you have the nose cone, which has the same feature. If you open up these tabs, you can actually extend it if you want, but that's really for robot mode. And as with the bottom module, you can counterclockwise turn it to get access to the battery compartment, the switch, and the LED. And again, since this one's kind of like free floating, it's really hard to kind of see the LED really well unless you have it perfectly aligned. We'll show off those features a bit later. Again, more details on the paint apps here. NON, I guess that means no in French. Or at least that's the only way I would know what it meant. Some numbers here, these probably have some significance, but I don't really know anything about it. So if you know what 8401 or MBISCB means, it's probably from the original toy, what I gather. Other features of this guy are that you can open up this panel, slide out this ramp down here, and flip this piece out to make a full ramp where you can actually get from the ground all the way up to the top. It breaks up a little bit here, but it's not too bad. It's a nice feature. And we'll actually leave it like this for now since we're going to keep going to alt mode or base mode. Alright, let's scooch this up. Move this all the way into the back, out of the way for now. And this is where we get into the legs. The legs are really big pieces. Again, we'll just take a look at them really quickly with some painted details here. Some yellow molded pieces. You'll see that the knees are actually die cast, and they're two separate parts, which is a really interesting design, but I don't know if it's the best design for it. We'll go into articulation later, but there are some smaller paint details, subtle paint details around here. To get this guy, this piece into alt mode, what we have to do is split the front and back halves of the legs. We need to pull out on this panel, shin panel, just a bit, because that keeps everything kind of tabbed in. Then we can split open the left and right halves of the legs and release the foot. So let's start with the foot, because it makes up part of the gantry. So we're going to rotate it like, let me think, like this, I think. Yeah. Here we go. Fold in these side pieces and use this double hinge to come down like that. You flip out this piece. Oh, and you can see there's actually some rubber treads here, which is nice for a figure this big. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Let's get his lower leg kind of out of the way for now. Go ahead and open the front and back. Untab the shin piece just a bit to separate the legs. Get the foot out. Fold in these panels, rotate it like such, get it down like this, flip this piece down, and again another get the heel in. You can see some thrusters on the bottom. You're going to want these two tab slots, sets of tab slots here, because they're going to correspond with this piece. Alright, so, sorry, was it this way? No, it's this way. I was right. It's a bit easier for me, at least at this point, to do them separately. I wish the connections were a little bit better. I mean, they're strong enough, but just because they're not balanced, they're only on one front side. And then let's go ahead and pull out these cannons these tabs. There we go. And I really don't think I'm gonna be able to, I haven't tried this yet, but I really don't think I'm gonna be able to get these this whole track on here. Well, we'll have to cut and see. For the wings, you just fold them flat on these double hinges, and you'll see the track side is on one side. Let's leave this somewhere here for now. Same thing on the other side. On the wing details though, when you have them folded up, you do have some paint applications and such. But when you have them open, they're nice and clean. Oh my gosh. Okay, I did not plan this through. So let's try to get this like so. Let's get this guy out of the way. And like this for now. We'll get the tank out of the way. So bringing the leg back in, here's one. Which one is this one? I guess the left leg. So the way this works is kind of complex. You want to make sure you lift this up. We have this little flap here that comes back and tabs this into place and holds this kind of firm. The next piece is the most complicated piece. We're going to have to deal with getting this leg in and this piece out, which almost looks like a toe. The way this works is come in here, flip this open. You're going to want to rotate this piece. Actually, here, let's deal with this first. Pull this out like this, and then there's a double hinged piece hidden in here, which you flip out like so. What you want to do is get the knee rotated like this, so the die cast piece is kind of pointing out, and you're going to have this at a kind of a weird angle. And so when you flip this, make sure you have this kind of a line like this, flat, so you can pull it through. You're going to want to kind of have this rotated in such a way that when you push through, how am I doing it? Yeah, go through like that. And once you're through, you can kind of straighten this out. Well, actually, you want to get this through all the way first, and then you want to rotate around at this part again, so that the exterior of the thigh is shown this way, and you want to have it all kind of. So this is where it gets kind of annoying. You have to actually get the leg positioned like this. So you have to collapse. See this joint? You can rotate it down this way. You want to have it collapsed in like so. So when you have it like this, it rests next to this piece. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully that visual showed it off. And then you straighten out this side and close this up. Alright, I'll show it off again and hopefully it makes sense. Oh, the other thing is you need to fold in these strut pieces. These two halves keep the legs more secure. You do it on both sides, but they kind of get in the way if you leave it out. So trying it again, this side, get this double hinge piece out. You want to flip like this so it's kind of flush here. Open this up. Get the knee bent like this. Okay, see the positioning here? It's kind of angled that way and this way. And then you want to bend it at this hinge. Because if you try to go straight through, you're not going to have enough clearance. So you're going to run into this. You have to bend it to go through. So go through and over. So this is on top. This will give you enough room to straighten out this leg. Rotate it around. Like so. And this is at least somewhat close to what it should be. Again, making sure that this aligns with that. And then just straighten out this piece. Oh. Come on. There we go. And this will close up. And that is one half done. It's the same thing for the other side. I really don't want to waste your guys' time by showing you the same thing. It's the same exact transformation both ways. So I don't want to waste your time by showing you that. So let's just go ahead and assemble this, and then we'll come back after I transform the other leg. So we're just gonna lay these on top of the others, the tracks. They just clip on front. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna have to move these lights out of the way. Oh man, I do not have enough room. So these are gonna have to. We're on the fly here now because this is just way too big. There we go. So let me take a quick break. You can see they just come over on top of these and sit right in. So let me take a quick break and get this other leg transformed for you, and then we'll be back. All right, we're back. So again, once everything's done, it should be aligned like this. So again, there's two kind of sets of indentations here. You don't want to be on the top one because that's gonna not have enough room. You're gonna go on the bottom one here, and everything should be kind of oriented like this. I think that's right, unless did I forget to double hinge this? Oh, sorry. I think I was supposed to double hinge this in a little bit more. Yeah. But anyway, by and large, this is how it's supposed to be. Again, making sure that you made use of that hinge in the knee to get it collapsed a little bit more. Otherwise, you're going to be too far out. You're going to go past this kind of median line. So let's go ahead and attach this here. Yeah, this is way too big for my review area. So it's going to be a little janky, but you'll get the general idea of how this all kind of works. We'll go ahead and just leave this here like that. Well, I guess we can move this to the center, but here, actually we'll leave that there. And then we'll get this big tank guy back here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really far back now. I can barely reach the table, and it's going underneath my lights here. But this guy's massive. Just to give you an idea, as always, here is MP Streak, which actually scales kind of okay with it. It goes almost directly on the rails here. MP10. Oops. And I know people are going to ask, so let's actually get a measurement of the rocket. The rocket is about 14.5 inches to the top tip. If you don't have the, oh sorry, I should have extended that, but 14.5 inches to the top tip. If you have it positioned like this. Yeah, this guy's huge. I think I had a picture that my buddy Eric, he took a picture of me lying next to this guy, and it's very, very big. All right, so let's go ahead and get this guy transformed into robot mode now. Let's kind of go backwards. I'm going to take this into steps, building from the bottom up. So let's go ahead and get this guy out the way. Get this guy out the way. And start with the legs first. This guy will come up next. Yeah, let's do this since we're going to need this really quickly. So we're going to just reverse this transformation, get the heel out. Make sure you know which side is which, because again, there is a specific orientation. You want to have this rotated so that this part is tilting inwards, right? So you want this to be the right foot. His right foot. On this side, we're going to do the same thing. Close this up. Just around. It's going to come to the toe section. Flips this out. And we have the left foot. Let's undo the legs. Just have to lift up here. There's one. there's the other. Since we're here, let's just do the wings. They're super easy. You just fold them up in half. Same thing over here. Man, this is a pain in the butt. Alright. Let's get in a little bit closer for now. And then we'll go ahead and reverse the transformation on the legs, which is kind of a bummer to have to do after doing all that. The first thing we'll do is go ahead and open up these doors. And again, for me, I found the easiest thing is to push it back out like this first, then rotate it around the around this joint here, and then bend it at these joints to get it to clear through. You gotta fold it like that. Alright, and then these gray pieces, light gray pieces, will double hinge in like so to hide underneath that piece. While we're here, let's go ahead and untab this center section. Just makes it a little bit easier to deal with both legs, I think. Same thing here. Again, I'm not going to show both legs, but I'll show you one leg just so you have it understood. Get the foot out the... I keep calling it the foot because this looks like a toe to me. I keep saying that, but it's not the foot. It's the inner workings piece. So when I want to rotate at this hinge, get it bent like this and through. And then gotta get this all straightened out. Like this. Is it this way? No, I think it's this way. No, that doesn't look right either. Oh well, let's figure that out because I got to figure out which side is which. Let's close this up. And lastly, don't forget these struts. Okay, they're gonna plug in to make the leg more secure. You're gonna bend this around, and let's see. So there we go. So, there we go. So you want to have both these yellow pieces on the back. Alright, bring in the foot. Is this the right foot? Yeah, so again, making sure this is in the right orientation. You want to have the legs slightly ajar. There are these big tabby pieces that go into the foot here. Come on. Remember these struts on that side. Hopefully everything tabs into place in the back. You need to have this die-cast piece pass through this slot here. So you want to do that before you can close up the front of the leg. There we go. We're gonna leave this open because you need this open to deal with the actual leg parts. So I'm not gonna show this side again just because we've seen it. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, we're back. Both legs done. One piece that I wish that they had done, and I actually talked about it with a few local collectors at our last meetup, is since there are two separate halves to the knees, and they kind of want to rotate independently, it would have been nice if they had some kind of connection here, like on these die-cast pieces that kind of plugged in to keep them keyed so that they don't independently rotate without the other. Probably a challenge for them to engineer something like that, especially with die-cast. There'll probably be a lot of damage and stuff like that with die-cast joints going into die-cast. So I don't know how they could do it, but it would have been nice if they had something like that. Alright. The next piece we'll do is the tank. just because we need the legs. So the way this all connects is these treads end up becoming kind of the thigh pieces. So let's collapse the cannon. Get the head up like this. And then let's do with these cannons, just lift these up. These things are on little slidey joints. Slide them down, flip them up, close that up. Okay. This piece comes untabbed. Oh, actually we should deal with this first. So these pieces will come open up, fold in on themselves, like that. And then this piece will untab from the chest. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. And they're on a set of hinges here, and you want to come out to the side like that. Collapse them. Same, so showing you on this side, go ahead and flip this up. Collapse this in on itself. This piece will come out and around on these die-cast hinges. Tab into the sides like this. Let's see here. I think what we need to do is get all this out. Oh, sorry, we can't do that yet. So you want to get these thigh pieces rolled down, or these treads on the front thigh. These end up becoming part of the inner thigh. You want to rotate these down like this. Then you can separate this piece. The reason why you do that is because you need to rotate around on this entire upper body 180 degrees and then reconnect them like so. These are covers that fill in the pieces that we saw rotate down. This should come down like that. This will come in and tab in up here. This entire crotch will collapse. And this just kind of folds in like this. Okay. I wish they had done something with this piece. And because of the way this being a little too long, you actually get some restricted waist articulation. So this should have folded in like a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting. See the swivel for the hips are right there, and by going just 30 degrees or so, it kicks out this part, which is a bummer. That was actually pretty poorly designed, or at least poorly thought out. Flip out these pieces, and then the chest will come in like this, come down like so. The head, open that up and swivel this around. Alright, so these pieces will go into the thighs. Oh, it goes in this peg thing. I don't know why I was thinking it goes above or below. It goes right in there. You bring both legs together like that. Same thing here. Get this square peg through that piece we just folded out. And there's another corresponding piece on the front. There we go. Man, this is a trial for sure. All right, so we're getting close. The backpack, which works with the arms, we're going to go ahead and rotate it out. Yeah, should rotate. Oh, that panel's still loose. You want to rotate this 180 degrees and then flip it out like that. Out like that. And then these arms will come down. These are the shoulders and biceps. Alright. Actually, let's just angle this down for a bit because my arms are getting tired. The rocket, you just split in half. We'll undo this piece, extend it, and retab these little tabs in. Open up front and back of the arm, the forearm. Pull out this piece. Close it up. Flip open this panel door. Very quick note here. You want to have it so that the orientation is how there's an extra gap here. You're going to need that for when you connect the arm. So right arm is the claw, right? You can see this slotting system. This is from the back. You want to just slot in that I-beam piece. And again, that specific orientation is so that this tab can fill in that gap. Same thing on the other side. If I can manage this. I'll show you from the front this time. This piece goes forward, straight on. Close up the panel on the back. All right. I find this to be the very specific way that I think works best for getting this on. So there are a couple tabs I'm not going to be able to show you. Maybe here and here, and then here on these yellow pieces that plug into specific areas. I find that getting the backpack on first and then tabbing these front pieces on before doing anything else is the easiest. So tab those front pieces on and then pull down on the backpack, which will tab in up here, and then connect down here as well. And that, my friends, is finally getting Terminus Giganticus in robot mode. And he is huge. I believe he's just about the same height as Titan's Return Metroplex and Fort Max. Let's actually see what the height is on this guy. He's about 23 inches tall to the head. Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot the wings. The wings, they can plug into either side, doesn't really matter. Again, using those big slots and these big beefy tabs here. Oh man, there we go. But yeah, he's super big, super heavy. I think somebody weighed him in at around 11 pounds. He definitely feels heavier than 11 pounds for sure. But yeah, he's quite intimidating. We will show off the LED features. Really quickly, let's show how you can replace the chest. First, just bring this door down and then just rotate it at an angle. You'll get this piece out. And you do the reverse, kind of put it at an angle, rotate it down. Really quickly, showing off that there is the light switch here with the LED, with the battery panel. The LED is actually in his chest. You flip this down, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. So let's scooch in just a bit. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see it. It's so dim that here's a matrix that can go in here. I don't remember him ever holding the matrix, but okay. And I don't even know if this is, I doubt this comes with it. This is probably Jack's. Honestly, he probably left it in here. But the LED is so dim, you can barely tell it's even on. That could be batteries. Yeah, you probably can't even see on the video. It could be the batteries, but most of the LEDs are like that. But this is the MP10 matrix, and if you put it in, you do see the LED coming through the gem a bit. Nice hidden details, but I don't know if it was wholly necessary. The alternate crotch piece, again using this little tab, you kind of just slot it in here. Like so, and that way you have a more fully read front view. Alright, let's go through articulation on this guy. Oh, no, sorry, we keep going through LEDs. The switch was on the back of the head here. I don't know if you can see that okay in the video, but probably not because of my lighting. LED switch here. So he has kind of blue lighting in his head there. And then lastly, this LED module, which is red. We showed that off a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think I have this guy fully transformed and correct. Articulation wise, we know his cannons, articulation, same stuff here. He does have ratcheted shoulders, which are really beefy and really nice. No concerns about them being too loose. Same thing going out to the side. Sorry, this panel is loose. He has a bicep swivel that's ratcheted. Elbows that are ratcheted. It's about 90 degrees. Talked about his fingers. All the points of articulation. No swivel at the wrist, unfortunately. We talked about his waist, how he can rotate around, but again, it will untab the back piece here a bit to get out of the way. One interesting joint, which I've never seen before, are on the back here, his hips have like a butterfly joint that go backwards about, 40 degrees or so, which is interesting. I think for helping stability. I'll even show that off right there. Butterfly joints. His thighs are ratcheted, as we saw before. And going out this way too. He gets quite a bit going out to the side. About 45. Going forward, he gets about the same. Going backwards, he gets almost 90 actually. Man, this is tough. He doesn't have a thigh swivel per se, but again, you kind of make use of that. And he doesn't have like a knee swivel, but he does have a both knee ratchets. And just be careful when you do this. You want to make sure that they're both joints are articulating at the same time, or ratcheting at the same time. And he only gets about 45 degrees there. But for a figure this large, I think that's way more than enough. And then lastly with the feet, he does have those ankle tilts, but doesn't have any forward or backwards action. And we did talk about the rubber strips to help with balancing. As far as overall like impressions, he feels quite solid. I mean, he is a bit wobbly, but he's a figure that's this big. I think that's kind of par for the course for something like this. Feels more solid than I would say, Metroplex or Fort Max. You can push him and he's not going anywhere. See? And my surface is not even a solid surface, it's a foam surface, so I don't have any concerns about this guy toppling off your shelf. Then again though, you may not want to put, $400 figure at the top of your shelf without any kind of contingency. But yeah, I'm not going to transform this guy back because we've already taken a lot of time reviewing this guy already, and I think you guys get the gist of it. Again, if you want to see some comparisons in terms of height and everything like that, check out Toy Dojo's review with Jack. He did a great job as well, and he probably covered some things that I may have missed or glossed over. But yeah, I think that's it for today, everyone. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll try to answer that as soon as possible. And if there's any interest, which there probably will be, I can probably do a live stream on this guy in the next week or so. Alright? Thanks again for watching the review. Thanks to Toy Dojo and Fans Toys for allowing us to do this early preview of their Terminus Giganticus. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good one.